Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Sandy from Doux Designs. So glad to be here hanging out with you guys tonight. So tonight I thought we would work with some of the new stuff, but we are not going to color because our project is going to take longer than it normally does. So we're going to get started here in a few minutes. This is going to be actually an album that we're going to create tonight, and we are going to do it with all the details. So if you're interested in learning how to make this and you want the details of it, then you might want to grab a little notepad or something so that you can see the details, measurements, and such. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. So if there happens to be any glitches along the way, just know that doing the best I can, just making it up. So anyhow, that is the plan for tonight. And I thought that we would use the paper pad from the superheroes. So I printed out some photos so we could add them to it, because I thought it would be cool if we had the whole process going at one time. So that is the plan. But it doesn't seem like anyone has joined in on the group, so I'm not sure that the video is working. So I'm going to check it real quick on my computer. So I will just talk to you while I work on that. Just to see if people can actually see the video, because last time I lost, I wasn't able to see comments, and that was kind of a bummer. So if you pop in and you could say hello, I would greatly appreciate that. But I'm going to repeat just one more time that I am actually going to build an album tonight. So
see if you can swipe to refresh the comments, because I just sent them.
I don't see any comments. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it seems like it's working now. So this is the paper pad. It's the Doux Designs Comic Universe. So this paper pad is set up with scenes on one side and comic type visuals on the back side. So we're going to use this paper pad for our accent paper. We will probably use some of the sentiments from these sets where they're "you're my hero," a superhero in every way kind of thing. And so we'll get to that as we get there. And in order to save time, I decided that we would use the ephemera pack, so we don't have to sit here and color all of the items. Now, in addition to that, I decided to use this. It's called Mini Album Tab Dies. It's from Scrappy Boy. I think it's really cool. I opted for this one right here. And so the first thing that I did before I started preparing for my album was I measured this siding right here that we're going to use to bind our book, and it is a little bit more than 3.5 inches, so like maybe a 1/16 of an inch longer than that. And then this way it's 1 inch. So knowing what size that is helped me decide what size paper I wanted to do. Hi, Jana. And so I think these are really cool because you have all different kinds of shapes, you know, rounded corners and other corners, you know, just so many different options. And these are just build your own kind of thing. I did not see that until just now, so I didn't check to see if there's a tutorial or anything. I'm just making this up. We're just gonna make this up as we go along. I think we'll be okay. I grabbed a few sentiment things, some from Tim Holtz, some from Inspirational, just to, you know, see what we can create. Hey Mom, I grabbed a few of the papers that I thought would match nicely with the paper pad, and I feel like these kind of hit the mark. So I have extras here. I have pre-cut a little bit, but I'm going to explain that in a minute. So I took that 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which looks like this one, and then I cut it going this way based on the size of the side of the banner. So I said that, not banner, but the binding. So this one, when I measured it here, was a little bit more than 3.5. So, hey Cheryl. So what I do is I just stuck this in here. I put it at 3.5, and then I cut it, and then I cut it again, and I got 3 panels out of it. And then I took those panels and I scored them at 1 inch on this side right here. So I scored it, if you can see that, I scored it on both sides so that we can bend it back and forth, and that'll make it easier to flip through your book. And then I only wanted it to be a total of 6 inches wide, including the binding. So at 5 inches, I put another score in there, and I will either cut that off or fold it over or make it a pocket or something. I haven't decided which ones, so I just left it on all of them. When I trimmed this at 3.5 and got 3 pieces, these were my leftover sheets. So I had leftover strips that I thought we could use as decoration within our album. Again, this is completely made up on the fly. I've made albums before, but not this particular one. So we're just winging it tonight, which is a lot of fun because we don't know how it's going to turn out. I took that die and I placed it on each one of these, and I die cut the holes so that they would all line up. So when I line them up, you can see the holes go all the way through, and we'll feed something through, either ribbon or twine or something to tie it off. I haven't decided on that, but I think it will probably be ribbon. So I have ribbon pulled out here. I have some decorative washi tape. I even have one that says, you know, pow, wow, all the superhero stuff. And we had a fiasco right before this started. Hey Beth, my the entire arm on my camera holder broke, and Dale had to duct tape it. You guys would die if you saw what it looks like just to hold it up for this live till I can buy another one. But it was pretty, it's not funny, but it was funny when it happened. I also printed out some photos, so you guys will get to see a few of the photos. These are all superhero photos and cosplay photos, so there are some pretty cool ones in there, and we are gonna put those inside the album as we make it. So I said this was 6 inches. I did 1 inch for the binding. So this is 5 inches right here. So when we cut our paper, we're going to want to cut the paper to a little bit smaller than 5 inches by 3.5, just so it'll fit. So what I'm going to do to start is just grab one of each one of these papers to start off with, so that I will have a variety of all the different papers that are in this pack. And then that way, if we need to, we can then move on to duplicating them if we need to, but we may not. We may be good. I don't know how many paper pads, how many papers this is going to take, but I am open to using them. So we'll have them front and back. Since we don't have to cut them that wide, we should be able to get close to 2. Maybe one will just have portion of it, and then the other side we'll use the top. And, you know, so we're going to try to use as much of each paper as we can in order to get our scenes and our images on our paper. So I cut a bunch of these. I don't know how many will be in the album. It depends on how thick we make it, but I went by colors. So let's see, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12. And I did them every other color, so hopefully that'll work out nicely. So before I start, what I want to do is mark which one's going to be on the top of the album and which one's going to be on the back. And I really want it to be red on the front and red on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece. It's a reinforcer for this top part right here. Plus it was the die that cut it in that design for me, with the holes and all the stuff we needed. So, you know, we got to do 2 of those, one for the front, one for the back, and this will just reinforce the strength. And Barely Art glue, it makes your paper stiffer when you use this glue, so it'll also give us some strong hold, being that we're using the Barely Art glue. It's my favorite glue. If I were doing this with anything else, I would not do this with a tape runner, but I would probably use double-sided sticky tape.
Yes, so she got her order in, and Christina said hi.
Oh, you got your order in? Yay! I'm so glad. That's the reason I didn't do any coloring tonight, was because I really want to set up a session for us, maybe Thursday night if people are starting to get their stuff, where we can color together. So you guys will be ready. You'll know which one we're going to color. And that way those who have received their order already will be able to color with me. So that's why I chose to use the ephemera tonight instead of coloring tonight. Give everybody a chance. And Cheryl, I have not forgot about you. I will be contacting you later tonight. And hello, Christina. How are you doing? We're making an album. I know that's kind of up your alley. You would probably like that. So I'm going to flip it over. This is going to be the back side. So I'm going to attach one on here as well. You would love that? Yay! In fact, I'm willing to take suggestions. If you have a favorite image that you want me to color, we could do that one on Thursday. I mean, you're here, so you get first dibs on the call of what you would like to see colored. Because any of them are fine with me. Any. But Cheryl, you'll have yours as well. So you will be able to color with us too, if you want to. Some people just like to watch. I will upload it to YouTube as well. So if you can't make it on Thursday, you can definitely watch the replay. I have to line the ninja looking guy. Okay, we can do that.
Irene Smith said hi.
Hi Irene, how are you? Okay, so we're starting to get this. I didn't get this on straight, so I'm gonna have to add a little more glue. Don't worry though, it'll be all right.
She said the paper is so vibrant.
Thank you. I like the paper that vibrant. It was important to me that I got it really vibrant, so I worked really hard on that. So I appreciate that. It's not a stock paper. I designed the paper myself, so let's get these circles lined up here. Looks like they're not perfectly lined up, but as long as I'm close, I think I'll be okay. So now I'm going to press it with the soda press. It's a little teeny bit off on this one. So I have this really cool crocodile thing that I Indian gave to my husband and then took it back. So I'm just going to snip that little piece in there so it'll be a little bit, it'll be better when we put the paper in there. So there we go. we now have that on the back. So we have one on the front and one on the back. So that'll reinforce it. So I'm excited about that. Okay, now we get rolling. This is going to be fun. I have to choose what I want to be on my first page. And the first page I want to fold over like this. And this is going to give me a little flap right at the front. Now I'll probably do the same thing at the back. No pockets yet, just little flaps. But since the rest of it is rounded, I think I may end up rounding these corners. So I have this corner rounder and it does 3 different sizes. So I'm just going to trim that one off real quick. And this will give us a little flap when we're looking through the book. We'll be able to open it up and see something on the inside as well. So the front of the album is going to look like this. I like to put all my pattern paper on there before I put the album together because it's a lot easier than after. So I think for the front page, I think the one that I want on the front, maybe, I think I want to go with this one because it has red in it. It matches really nicely and it looks like it's outside. So what I'm going to do is cut that. First, I'm going to cut it. It was 3.5 is what is the size of this, about 3.5 inches, maybe a tad bit smaller than that. I mean, larger than that. So I'm going to go just a hair smaller, like 1/8 of an inch smaller. And that should give me a pretty good covering without a whole lot around the edges. And then this length is 5 inches from here to here. So we're going to cut this one about 1/8 of an inch smaller than 5 inches, or larger. I mean, smaller. Do I want it smaller or larger? Hold on. Let me check and see. Yeah, smaller. 1/8 of an inch smaller. And I'm going to take it off this side because I really like that little street post right there. The little street light. So we have this. And then that will be the front of the album. So super easy. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on because I'm committed. We talked about this last week. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. When I make a decision, I just roll with it. I could be sitting here with all these papers, switching them back and forth a million times. But I learned a long time ago when I was scrapbooking to just commit and move on. Because otherwise, it takes me a long time to get a scrapbook page done. So, I'm just committing right away. And then it is going to be what it is. Yep, this little paper is not quite big enough to, like, hide over here. But I could put it on there somewhere. I'm going to save it because we'll probably use it. I'm not going to put any of the pattern paper over here. I need this to be the spot where it will bend back and forth so you can open the pages. So I'm going to be really careful about that. All right, so over here, do I want anything over there? Let's skip that for now. Let's do the inside of this one. Now, see, the papers aren't big enough now to go on here unless we left a background alone like that, which we could because we have these extras that were left over from cutting the paper. So we could just put them on there like this, kind of separating that, and it would give us a good look and extra paper. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I like that. So let's do it the same way so that these extra pieces will kind of match up. So again, the same, every page is going to be the same size. So we're going to cut it at the same place, 1/8 of an inch smaller than 5 inches. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This little scrap one right here. And I'm not throwing anything away. We're going to keep it all so that we can use it until we're completely done. And then if we feel like throwing it away, we can throw it away at that point. So you want to make sure that when you're putting this in there that these will close all the way. So make sure you don't go over the little score line. Otherwise, it won't close right and you'll be frustrated. So don't do that. So I'm going to start over here on this side just so I can make sure that I have it over far enough. We also want to make sure that this other side, you don't have to worry about the Fairly Art glue because it dries clear, so it's not going to be a problem if I ooze out the edges. So for now it'll be white. When it dries it'll be clear, so you won't have to worry about that. But we also want to make sure this one moves back and forth. No, you're not real late. We just kind of started building this album just because we can. And while I'm gluing this down, I can give you a quick rundown. This is just paper I cut. The little binder thingy is from Scrappy Boy. He has a set of album edges. I don't know what he calls them exactly. Mini album tab dies. So I just used one of these in order to get each one of my ends. And now we're just going to decorate it up into a superhero album or a super villain, whichever way you want to look at it. But it's going to have my family in it, so I guess there might be some villains and some heroes. I guess it just depends. But we go to the fan expo all the time, and we always take a ton of pictures, and I never do anything with them. So I decided tonight that we would use them. So that is my plan. You're not real late, I promise. Okay, so we didn't decide if we were going to decorate this or not, and I may just leave it alone. I think I'll probably use maybe some kind of washi tape, but I want to wait until I know what photos I'm going to put on there. So for now, I'm going to set this one aside, and we're going to work on page 3, because that was 1, 2, and this will be 3. So we know that it's going to be the opposite side of this. So I'm going to be a little bit conscientious of what is going to meet up side by side. Just because I think it's helpful to know. Just checking what's on the back of these. I kind of like that. Might have to use some of that on that one. This one I'll hold till later. But I like that yellow. And then we have these pages. And I kind of like that little image right there. So I'm going to look for something that might match up well with that. I think I kind of like this one. It's got some good yellow in it. So we'll use this one next. It has this on the other side. So if I use the top, we'll have the bottom to use for something else. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it at the same size that we talked about. This one is just slightly smaller than 3.5. I think I want about 1/8 of an inch smaller than 3.5. Pretty sure. Yep. And then I think I want this. Yeah, I think I like it right there. So I'm going to trim it going this way. So just thinking about my paper as I'm cutting it, so I make sure to add in what I want. Make sure I don't lose any of the pieces. And I think these two go together really nicely. So we're going to go ahead and fold this one. Remember, it's scored. I scored it at 1 inch and then over here at 6 from the edge. So we're just making sure that it's going to fold where it's supposed to fold and not have any issues with us adding the paper to it. So here we go. Again, committing right away. I mean, all these papers are cute, so it doesn't really matter which one I use. And I have multiples. The pack comes with 4 of each sheet. So even if I use 2 of each one, I have 2 left. So that's pretty amazing. And if I really think I'd make a bunch of these, then I'd just get a few more another pack and I'd have 4 more of each one. So you can do a lot with this paper, I think. So now we're just checking to make sure our folds work okay. That one does. So now we don't need this page right now. Now we're going to decide what we want to do with this piece right here. And I think for this one, I'm going to cut it off. We don't need it hanging on there. So I'm going to cut right on that score line that I put earlier. So we'll still have our little yellow border. And then we have this extra piece of paper that we can use for something else. So that is that page. I'm going to flip it over now. This will be our back side. And since I had that score line there, I'm just going to straighten out the paper from where the score line was so that it's nice and smooth. Okay, next paper. I'm trying to use these as we go along, so maybe this really looks cute with the whole furniture thing. I like that. And we have some more paper, so we could see if any of that matches. Blue looks good. Maybe I'll cut the blue in half and we'll put a little bit at the bottom and a little bit at the top. I think that'll work. Let's do that. Hey, here we go, trimming this off again. We could even, oh, look at that. See, that's really cool just all by itself. You never know. Well, you never know what you're going to get. So let's do this one. And then we're going to have to cut it in half, which is usually not easy on a trimmer like this because you have that little lip and then you have to try to hold it still. And it's a little bit challenging, but we're going to try it anyway. There we go. It's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be, so that's the good thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I sometimes like when they're a little off, a little wonky, because we could even put the paper a little wonky too. One side, make sure the bigger side is on the opposite side so that it gives you a little bit of a design rather than straight across. So it's a little bit wonky, but I like it. Hey, Meg. So let's go ahead and put this down. As you can tell, I don't spend much time worried about where my paper goes. I just stick it on there and hope it turns out good. I have no fear. This is how I scrapbook too, in case you were wondering. Yes, I just stick the papers down and I don't think about them. And maybe later I find one and go, oh, I really wish I would have used this paper, but too late. So this is how I make sure that I use up supplies. Sometimes I'll take supplies I have left over and then I just make myself use them somehow, so that it all gets used up. It just works out nicely that way. So those of you who joined in a little bit later, the arm that holds my camera broke. And right before literally 11 minutes, I had just asked my husband to adjust it for me so that it would have a wider area, because usually I'm coloring. Just want to make sure that opens and closes okay. And I said, I'm not coloring tonight. I need it to be wider so they can see measurements and such. And he was like, okay. And then I heard it, boom. And I was like, oh no, what happened? And he said, it broke. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm building an album. Just randomly. So if you ever wanted to know how to do one and you don't have like a template, this is a one way that you could do it. I'm building a superhero album to put in all the little superhero pictures I have. And I have them right here. and we'll add them. I add them about as fast as I'm adding all these papers. But look, there's my little Thors and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to put all my superhero pictures inside this little album. So I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun. So that is page 3 and 4. And you saw how fast we got that done. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 pages done. Next one is going to be this side. Or maybe I'll swap it, because you know, if I swap the papers, this paper will look really good across from this one. You know, I think it would be really good. So we're going to leave that on there. We're going to leave that there. And then we'll probably use this yellow so we can get some designs going on. Let's see, what scraps do we have? Ooh, nice. I like that. I think we'll use that. I'm not sure about over here, but we might use this as well. You know, we got to use the scraps, because that's what makes everything work out in the end, is using the scraps. So you don't want to waste any of this paper. It's so pretty. And I think this will match nicely across from the scene that we have going on there. So I'll probably end up with a photo in there. So I'm just going to put my glue along this edge. Just kind of leave this other side open in case I need to tuck the photo in. You never know. So we're just going to do that. Then we're going to do our test, like I told you, to make sure that you fold it on that scored line, just to make sure that you're in the right place and that you're not intruding upon the folded line. So nice. There we go. Okay, so on this one over here, this tab, we could cut it off, or we could leave it on and fold it over. So I wonder if we want to go this way or if we want to go the other way. Let's go this way this time. Is this one of your dies? No, I hand cut this. This is not a die. This is just a measured album. I started off with this one. These are just the end pieces that come from Scrappy Boy, and I measured the size of this, and it's 1 inch across, about 3.5 this way. And then I just decided, so I cut this, and then I scored it 1 inch, and then I decided how long I wanted the album to be, and I decided I wanted it to be no longer than 6 inches. So this was 1 inch, and this is 5 inches. I left the paper on the end in case I wanted to make it into a pocket. So I left them on there, but I'm trimming some of them off now. I just didn't want to have to build a little pocket flap later. So I went ahead and did it right now. So yeah, this is all just a random design. I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. I think I'm going to cut the orange piece off because I don't want the orange piece on there. Not that I don't like orange, but I feel like it matches better. So that was an eyeball. I just eyeballed cutting off a little piece, and it worked. So that was awesome. Yeah, so no, this is just measurements and playing around and making an album out of paper. And the pattern pack that I have is the superhero, so it goes really well. I wanted to do a couple of albums with our cosplay stuff, but I just didn't really have time to or paper design, I just didn't know what I wanted to do, so I hadn't done anything with it. I think I'm going to round this corner too. But then when I got this paper, I was like, oh, this is so great. This is going to be so great. I think somebody gave me paper clips. If I can find those paper clips, we'll probably use them because they'll hold the pages together. But I don't really know where they are off the top of my head, so I'll have to look. but if I don't have them, I'll get them later. And I kind of like this one just like this for now. We might add washi tape and decoration later, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just trying to add a little bit to each one. Now this flap will occasionally open, so I want to make sure I don't clash with this. So next paper we're going to put on there. Let's see. We need, I kind of like, let's go with this one. This is kind of like a little gym. It's like working out, which kind of like, it would be really good for these photos I have where she's practicing the moves of Lady Thor. And I think it'll work out really well in this scene. But I really want this piece of it. So I'm going to cut it to fit that piece. So I'm going to trim off the part at the top. I know I want to be able to see at least a few lights. And then I'm going to turn it around and measure it to that just slightly below 3.5, like 1/8 inch below 3.5. And that'll give me this scene. And I want to keep all of this, so I'm going to flip it that way and do it 1/8 of an inch smaller than 5 inches. And that should give me the paper that I need for right here. Bingo! It worked perfectly. So we're going to put that on there. I think it'll just be fun adding these pictures to these different designs to make a whole little album scene. And so I did have an album die at one time out on the market, and I loved it. It just made these steps easier. You didn't have to cut everything yourself. But I don't right now. So this is the best I can do for you guys, is just giving you the measurements and how to do it. So now we have 2 more pages done. Getting cute. Still pretty thin. The more bling you add in, the bigger it will end up being. I'm going to cut this one off because I do not want that on there for this particular next one. I'm going to actually fold it so I can see it because it's black paper and it's hard to see in here, and I don't want to cut it too short. There we go. I think we did pretty good. We're going to save this one as well because we may make that a pocket. As we're collecting these little papers here, we'll be adding them, and then we can make little pockets to go with them. Oh, I love these little boxes. I cut them out on some of my other ones, so even the blue and the red. Let's do that. Let's just cut some of these into like rectangles and squares and build our own vision here. And it doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as you have paper in that paper somewhere. And if you're one of those people who wants to put the pictures in, you can put the pictures in as you go. I like to get the base paper in there first, and then the pictures will match up with the paper. And then I will decorate around the pictures once I get them put in there. I like that these give me little squares. I really like that. We also have one that we didn't use from before. So what I'm going to do is measure it to this one and make it the same size. And we're going to use this piece as well, because no sense in wasting that. That way all our squares will look similar because they'll all be about the same size. And I think we have another one right here that'll fit. In that it's blue. Yep. So we'll cut this one. And we may overlap a few of them just for some decoration. I don't know what my brain does. It just makes up stuff as I go along. It's just fun, you know, just play along with whatever you want. I kind of like this little explosion going on over here, this one. And then they'll find their way. At some point it will mean something. Well, kind of like this one should be over here, I think. Opposite of that one. Maybe I'll put the red one up here. Maybe we'll put this one this way. This one will fit in here. Let's kind of overlap some of them just for grins. Like that. And then I'll place this one over here, and that'll give us our own design without having too much of anything but paper on here. So you can make it as simple or as elaborate as you want. It's up to you. I know there's a lot of people out there that build some really gorgeous albums. I'm more of a simple kind of girl. I like my stuff simple and easy. I will sometimes build graphic 45, you know, type albums when I get the wild hair. But most of the time, I just like them to be kind of simple. You can produce a lot more if you do simple. So what do you guys think of this idea? Do you think you would ever use your paper pads and build something simple like this? Put you some pictures in there. I have a one of those small printers that prints these mini pictures, which work great for something like this. And you can tell how my mind works. And I came out with these squares for the boxes and stuff. You can see how it works right there while I'm making these cards, while I'm making this paper. See, no waste, no waste. Just very small slivers of waste. I would have liked for that one to went underneath, but I'm pretty sure it's too late for that. Let me grab my little tool I have here that I use to go under stuff if it's already glued down, and see if it's willing to move. Oh, it is. So that's great. So I can put this one underneath and this one on top. Good, that's what I wanted. So I just flip it over and brush it with this soda press, and it really gets it a good grip there. Super helpful. You like it? You like this idea? It's fun. I mean, it's really fun. I'm super excited about it. Not that I needed this for anything in particular. I just really wanted to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I didn't because I didn't know what paper I wanted to use or what, you know. And this one is just perfect for Fan Expo photos. You guys, if you stick around when I put these photos in here, you're gonna laugh at some of the photos I picked to put in this album. It's pretty funny. Okay, next one, flipping it over. Now, I'm going to try and build a little pocket so that we can, and I'm going to make it the same color as this, but I may make a paper that goes in it with this one so that we can have a paper you can pull out and look at maybe a photo on that as well. So whenever you build a pocket like this, so if you've never done this before, this will really help. You need to have approximately like a 1/2 inch on 3 sides so that you have something to fold over so it will hold in the pocket. So I'm going to do it between the 1/2 and 1/4 inch just to give me a little bit more than. So this one is at 1/2, this one is at 1/4. So So there's 1/4 and then in half right here. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score it in the same place down here at the bottom. So essentially, whatever one you have, you just give yourself about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, depending on how big a pocket you want. Just make sure that you do it on 3 sides. This is the quick and easy way to make a pocket. If you don't already know how, this is the quick way. And you can do this with any size. It's up to you. Now, the easiest way to cut this to prepare, and I like to use scissors that go across in one clean sweep, okay? So you want to cut right across where those 2 lines meet, right there, like that. See? And then you turn it around and you cut on this side where they meet, where that X is. Okay? Once you cut those 2 off, then you fold these over and you have a pocket. Okay? Your pocket will fit right on top of your paper like this. You'll glue it down and then you'll have room to put your paper inside the pocket. And it won't be too close because you've built the little sides to give yourself some space. If you just try to glue around the edges, it's hard to put something in there. So just do those little measurements around the edges and cut those corners. It's basically so that they don't overlap right here because that causes too much bulk. So as long as they don't overlap there, you're golden. So now I'm going to burnish those edges. By the way, this is my favorite burnishing tool right here. It's from Trinity. It's got a big T on it for Trinity Stamps. She sent this to me as a little gift when I had this order, and oh my goodness, I love it so much. Okay, now we're gonna have to put our accent paper on before we do all of that, but I want to see how big this, so this fits perfectly in this pocket, but I want to trim just a tad bit off the side, and I don't want it to hang out too much above. So that's good. It's just going to be a little teeny bit above the edge. And if I don't like it, I can trim it later, but I think I'm going to leave it. So I'm just going to trim a sliver off of this side because you can see where I had scored it earlier. And I don't want you to see that. So I trim that off. And then we're going to use this paper as well. So now we're going to have 3 pages in here, 3 pieces for us to work with. And now we have to pick another paper. So we have the gem over there. That one, we won't be able to see that. We have this and then this. So now we can actually pick one from the back if we want. I think I kind of like this one. That way it doesn't really have to do anything in particular. You can just do whatever you want with it. I'm trying to decide if I really want to put paper underneath this or if I want to save that paper. Yeah, I think I'll just put it under there. I'm okay with it. All right, so same size. We have that 3.5, 1/4 of an inch smaller than 3.5. And then over here, we're going to do it that 1/8 of an inch under 5. And then we'll use this on here. It looks perfect, but I might need to take a sliver off because I'm not sure this will fold. So let's go ahead and fold the score line I have in there and make sure that this is going to fold okay. Oh yeah, it's going to be all right. I take a sliver just because, just for grins. There we go. And then we can put this one on here. So if you've made albums before, you probably know the little pocket trick. But if you've never made them before, you can use those kinds of pockets on cards for a gift card or anything. So it's really a trick that you can use with anything. You can make a gift card pocket easy. And it can be any size you want. And this one would actually probably fit a gift card, or maybe you need slightly smaller. This might be almost perfect, see? So if you wanted to put a gift card in there, you can make one a little bit smaller, or you could tape it to your paper. Whatever you want to do. But just for future reference, you could definitely use that for that purpose. Now, I want to, this is going to be on top of that one. So I was trying to decide. I think I might want to put just something along the edge rather than a whole piece of paper over that, the top of that. So I'm looking at my scraps. I have this one. I don't want to use that one because it's that building, which would cause an issue for me. Oh, here's one. So I have this little one that I could put on here, and it kind of goes with that one. But I was thinking maybe I could just put a small piece across, and then I wouldn't need a full piece. Yep, I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to cut it down. I only want it to be somewhat around a 1/2 inch, maybe slightly bigger. So I'm kind of eyeballing it. As long as it's a straight line, we're good to go. Just need to cut off a little bit on the edge. And I think because there's so much red in it that I'm going to leave the yellow and cut the red. So, and I'm just eyeballing this now. Some of you may want to measure it, but I'm kind of an eyeball girl, which I got it perfectly. But since I like a border around the edge, I'm going to trim just a teeny bit more off. And then this should fit there just nicely, right there, just like that. So let's put that on there. What do you guys think so far? We probably won't do we probably won't make it a really big album because I don't have a whole lot of pictures, but this will go pretty fast. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't take me long to decide what I want on there. Then we take this one and you just put the glue on the little flaps. Just like that. And then you attach it where you want it. You can go up on the page, or you can do it down to the edge of the page, you know, whatever you want. You're liking it? It's a really cool idea. Yay! I'm glad you guys like that. I just thought you might like a little twist of change from what we normally do. And it kind of shows how you can use all the things in the bundle if you got the bundle. Awesome. I like that. This one will fit in there just like we thought. Right in there, just like that. And I don't think I'm going to put anything on it until I decide what photo I'm going to put on it. So we're just going to set it in there for now. And I like it. That makes me happy. Next, I think I might leave this color out. I'm just not a fan of that color. So we're going to move on to another red one. I thought I liked that color, and then I changed my mind. All right, so this side, I think this side would be really cool if I used the same type of paper. So this is the exact same paper pad that we used before, but I think I'm going to, maybe I'll do it from the bottom so we have the green in it this time. And then this side, I'm not going to put that on. So this will give us a little bit of decoration. Which side? I think this side. All right, so now we go and we cut it, that same measurements. The only two you have to remember is an 1/8 of an inch shorter than 3.5 and an 1/8 of an inch shorter than 5. Those are the only 2 measurements we've been working on so far because that is the size of the album. I like it. I like it. And for not pre-planning this, we are kind of whipping through pretty good. Hey, Beths, both the Beths. If you think about it, you can make this out of any theme. I mean, you know, the Sassy Club has a bunch of good themes. You could do Sesame Street. For mine, you could do aliens or superheroes. And then who knows what the future will hold. And since I just built, like I left this flap and then I built a pocket, I don't want to make it too fat. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this one off. It's just going to be a straight piece this time. There we go. Now we have an extra red piece for when we need it. And I think I'm just going to leave this one like this because, you know, we have other papers that we can decorate with. So we're going to flip that over. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the front door. I think I might want to put this little black piece of paper that I had left over from before, since black works with this color right here. And I think I'm just going to lay it right over top of there. Nothing fancy, just want to add just a tad bit more. So we're going to grab this. And if you wanted to, you could leave the top not glued right at the edge in case you want to tuck something under there. You'll be able to do that. So we'll leave just a small area open in case we decide we want to tuck something in there. And who knows, maybe, maybe not. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to rub it with the soda press again. This, when we do this, this spreads out the glue and gives you a really good hold. So, and I don't like to do it on the front because Barely Art glue will allow you to move it around a little bit. And if you go right at it on the front, sometimes you mess it up and then you can't get it back where you wanted it. Yeah, it's an album. And we already built, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pages. We're on page 10. So we're whipping through pretty good. So I'm going to lay these out so I can see. I think I'm going to actually cut this one off too. This is right about the center of our album. So I'm going to keep these 2 center pieces the same. We're going to fold that just a little bit where it's scored so that we know our pages will fold in and out. And then we know these 2 pieces are going to face each other. So you have to do something. Since we've used this side of the paper a lot, I think I'm going to use this side. And I don't know, I think maybe the sky, because you never know, we might want somebody flying around out there. So I think what I'm going to do is cut the paper directly in half and put half on this side and half on the other side. So this is a 6x6 paper, so I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And then I need to cut the top in that 1/8 of an inch smaller than 5. That's the measurement we have to use for all of them. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. So it's not a lot of measurements. It's pretty easy. Oh, man. I wanted it to go this way. I'm going to have to cut off more. That's okay. We can use those clouds for sure. I think I want it to be on this side like this. So we really, the 5 is that way. The 3.5, an 1/8 of an inch smaller than 3.5 is what we need for the height. And that's okay. I'm sure I'll use these, the backs of these papers. You saw me, I've already been using them all. And I love these clouds, so we'll for sure use them. So here we go. We'll have like a little bit of a scene on one side, a little bit on the other. This might be really good for those little battle photos that I have where they're having a whole scene going on there. Yeah, it's like a comic book. It is like a comic book. Yep, exactly. And I think they'll fit great in this area right here. It gives me a lot of room because I think I have 3 or 4 of those battling pictures. And I think those will be great right here. And then we'll put this one on the other side. And those that just popped in, you'll notice that I don't take much time deciding. I just make a decision and roll with it. If I contemplate too much, I have lots of other stuff that would work just as nicely with it. And I don't want to spend all my time thinking about it. So just going to roll with it. I'm going to flip this one over and get that good rub. Spread that glue out, make that a good hold there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. You'll see me do this all the time, even with my cards. There we go. We also have washi tape, so we might use that later. But for now, this is a pretty cool scene. I like it. I'm going to leave it just like that. So that page is done. Now, I'm going to take this one and flip it over. And we got the next 2. Here's that ugly paper again. Don't laugh at me. I can't help myself. All right, we'll try and use it. I think we might have used it once already. Did we? Nope, we did not. I pulled it out the other time too. Okay. All right, I'm going to use it. It's the last piece of this color paper that I own, so I wanted to get it out of my stash. Okay. Let's see. Oh, isn't this beautiful? Let's use this one. I like it. This time, I'm going to cut them in squares, like perfect squares. So in half by 3, and then in half by 3, since they're 6-inch squares. And we'll do the same thing with this side. Another 3 inches. Cut that in half. And then we have these 4 panels, which we can either put together and overlap, or maybe we could put them differently. I think I kind of like them like that. Maybe in the center part, and then something on the outside, like the rest of that other paper that we had. Like that. Kind of like that. This was the cloud paper that we had. You can actually see the clouds on this one. So I'm not sure this one will work as well, but we don't really need it to, because we can make a tab out of this one. So let's put that on there. Let's cut this tab. So I want it to be diagonal cut, just for a little bit of design. So I'm going to go from the top corner right here to the bottom corner down there, or actually up just a little bit. So starting at the top and leaving just a small square at the bottom. So you see how that is almost like a folder. And then we'll fold that over and we'll be able to play with that. That will be a different design. So these are just designs popping out of my head. Woohoo! So now I can use this one probably on this side, and I'll probably use this on this side, so that we have both colors that kind of work together from side to side. And since this one has the explosion going that way, I'm going to put this one so the explosion is in the center. They kind of match up. This part will fold over. I think I'm going to seal that, and we're going to make a pocket right here. So for this one, we need something really small. You know what? Let's use pop dots. If we use pop dots, it'll work the same way as pocket, I think I have some of those really long ones from Stampin' Up from years ago. You know how old these are? But hey, they still stick, so no complaining coming from my end here. These are those long ones that you could fold around to make a shaker thingy. I don't use them very often, but for some reason they just popped in my head, so I guess when you need them, you know. You just find the right one. So I just take one off and I'll play around with it. If I don't need it, I'll put it back on. But for now, I think it will be really helpful to put it right along this bottom. And then I also think I need to go up just a little bit on the side. This is when I start losing my scissors. Oh, there they are. I almost grabbed the other pair. Because sometimes you don't even want to look for them. You're just like, I'm over it. Okay, so one on the side. And I'm going to cut this one diagonally so it fits kind of perfectly right in that little cubby right there. I want this paper to go down first so that when this sticks, it sticks over top of the paper. It's going to give us that pocket that we need with space because it's, see, because it's foam. We'll just stick that to my desk somewhere in case we need it. Let's put this one down first. That way it'll be underneath. If you use this type of stuff, you can put a little line of Barely Art glue over it before you put it down, and it gives you some time to move it around, where most of the time that double-sided sticky tape type stuff doesn't give you very much wiggle room at all. So sometimes I'll just put just a really small thin dot on there so I have time to play with this in case I don't get it lined up or whatever the reason. And it worked, so we're good. It will take a second longer to dry. It'll take just a second. I'm just going to grab some of that extra glue. Even though it'll be clear, I don't want it sticking to anything else. Like it, I like it, I like it. Now we're going to grab one of these extra papers that we had laying around. We're going to probably yellow. And we're going to build just a little sliver that'll go inside that pocket. So I'm guessing, if I had to guess, I'm guessing it's about 1.5. Let's try 1 3/4. We'll go bigger just in case. And then we can cut it down if we don't need it that big. So, oh, look at that. It works perfectly. It's a little long, so I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I don't want this one sticking off over the top. But we will do something decorative with that, whether we do a word or put a picture in there or whatever we do. We'll do something. Let's go ahead and stick this one down as well. So here we go. We gotta get this one down. We're doing good. We are doing good. We are getting there. I'm excited. So if anybody's popped on later, if you received your superhero stamps in the mail, you'll want to have your ninja stamped out. Your little ninja guy stamped out. So we're going to color him. All together color him on Thursday evening. You know I always make a card, so if you want to have some card supplies, you can do that as well. How well does that glue ship in the winter? We get cold. It doesn't matter, Beth. It doesn't matter whether it gets cold or whatever, and even if it freezes, it thaws and works just fine. It takes cold, hot, it's fine. No worries there at all. It travels nicely. It's my favorite. I love it. And the people are so nice when you go over there, because they make it here in Texas, so you know it can take the heat. And I go over there and pick it up, so that's why I can save you a little bit on it, on the price of it in the shop. I was going to get the larger bottle and the smaller bottle, but I decided that this is my favorite one because it's really handy and you can refill it. You can't make it Thursday, Meg. Oh, it's okay. I'm going to put it on YouTube so you can watch the replay. All right, I like these. Pretty happy with them. So we're going to move on. I'm going to flip this one over. This one doesn't look like it's going to stay too well in there. So we may, if we make it thicker, it will. If not, we'll have to come up with something. Like maybe some glue dot, some of the resin dots on the back might keep it stumped in here where I want it to be. But we'll see. All right, so flipping it over. We have the next 2 pages. And we're almost done. I only have a couple of more left. So we're good. I think I only have 2 left. What was I saying? Oh, the glue works really good. The people are really nice. I like to work with people who are really nice. But it's my favorite glue. You can refill the bottle. So I didn't get the larger bottle because as much as I craft with you guys, if I don't have to refill mine all the time, neither will you. So, okay, got rid of the teeny tiny scraps. So we have a little more space on my desk. Okay, we have so we folded this one over. I think this one will also fold over, but we'll fold it the other way. And it'll just be a flap. It won't be a pocket. And we'll think about that. I might change my mind because I definitely want this last panel to fold in because the outsides are the ones that get the most wear and tear and they need to be the thickest. So I want to leave that on the last one. So let's see how thick we are so far. We're not too bad. Not too bad. But we have to remember we still have to add photos and all that other stuff. So I think we're doing okay though. Sometimes you just gotta eyeball that. You just don't know how it's gonna pan out until you get there. All right, we still have some papers here. I really like this scene. I feel like this scene kind of looks like, it kind of looks like this kind of looks like underwater to me. I think I'm going to put it on this side. Kind of looks like an underwater scene, but it's definitely a good villain scene. So I think I like it better on the black. So I think I'm going to put it on this side. We could put somebody right there. I think that will work perfectly. We need a different one for this side so that we're not, you know, I think I might cut another paper. I mean, I did only cut one of each one, but I think we need like one of the so there's that one, we did that one, but we didn't do the scene on this one. So I feel like if we have like a meetup center, it'll be, you know, where you work and do all your business. I want it to be, I think I'm going to trim this side off a little bit. And I want it to be, oh, this is going to be good. I want to be able to see most of this. So it's going to have to be 3.5, a little bit less than 3.5. So if we cut that, we're going to lose all the top. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut some off the bottom. We'll cut the whole flooring to the chair because we don't necessarily need to see that part. And then see where that takes us. Okay, a little bit better. So there we go. This is like an office, like where the, heroes meet up to talk about the villains or so forth. I'm going to do just a smidge more off. There we go. So we have enough room. That color actually matches with that paper really nicely too. I'm a huge scrapbooker. This is giving me crafty goosebumps. I'm a scrapbooker too. I just haven't done it in a really long time, but I have like 32 albums. And I think what really drove me to do this was to scrapbook-ish, make an album and stuff. I think what really drove me to do this is my future daughter-in-law asked me for baby pictures of my son, young and baby pictures and teen pictures and such. And so I went through my scrapbooks Sunday, pulling out photos for her. And so I had nostalgia from that, that she wants to use it at the wedding. So I got to pick which ones. And it just made me want to do a little bit more of this. And this one's going to have some Cooper stuff in it, so I'm excited about that. I want to put just a little bit more glue up underneath here because I feel like it didn't stick. The glue didn't go all the way to the edge. And since it's around the corner, I'm going to stick it there and hold it because I want it to hold really well. There we go. Okay, so we have this one. And we'll flip that over. And now we have this page. This is our next page. Oh, I really like this one. I want it to look like dark dungeony. I wonder if this will add to it a little bit. Now this is that paper and that's the sky, but I like the blues together, so I think I'm going to use that. Maybe if we did it this way, it would take up more of the room. Not feeling that one. Usually I just go with it, but I'm not really feeling that. I think I liked it better over here. So let's do that. Let's go back to my initial thought. So we don't want to spend too much time on one section. So right here, I do a lot of eyeballing. I don't do a lot of measuring. I do enough of that when I'm creating a die. I'm measuring everything 15 million times. So when I'm just doing something like this, I'm just eyeballing it. Usually there's a lot of scrap paper on my floor where I messed it up or it doesn't work and I have to start over. And there's a lot of work that goes into that, but it's fun to me. That's why I was hoping this was going to work out and it wasn't going to end up with like a big mess. And you guys see my big mess as an epic failure. All right, going to flip this over and get a good hold on that glue. All right, there's another side. I like it. Moving on. Here we go. We're going to flip that over. We're going to have a pocket here, so we need to decorate that side too. This is the last page before the back of the album. So, woohoo! We're almost there. Okay, I really like this one. I think it looks really good with this paper. I wonder if I should make that a pocket. I don't know. Let's let that sit there and ponder for a little bit. And then we have these, which I think that's really neat. I think we had one already cut out though. Did we? No, we have some clouds though. And some blue. We have this explosion, which we could totally use here. Almost covers it up, doesn't it? We could put it this way. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And then we need something for here. So maybe solid. Look, kind of like that. See, that's why I left that sitting there, because I knew it was going to come to me. Something was going to come to me. All right, we need something right there. What do we want to put right there? I don't like the white around that for this particular thing, so we need a different one. All right, the last, we're going to have to put one on the outside of the album. And I kind of like this one for the outside of the album, so we'll just hold on to that for a minute. Let's flip these over. I want to use this side. Which one have we not used yet? We know we used that one. We used that one. I don't think we used this one. We might have used it at the beginning. We didn't use that either. Or that one. I don't want to cut that one up because it's my front cover and I can't show you guys what my front cover looks like if I cut it up. But I want you to use it when you have it because it's really helpful. I think this is going to be on the back cover. And we'll use this one on the other side of that paper. Maybe we'll just go with this solid color. I did keep out some paper. This is the scraps from before. I wonder if I like that red. The scraps. I'll have to cut this down a little bit. Oh, I really like that in there. Maybe we'll just leave it black. Maybe we'll find some paper to go on it later. What about one of these? That's kind of cool. Too short though. All right. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed. I want that on there. Kind of looks like the street. I'm going to leave this side open a little bit in case I decide to tuck something in there. We can always add glue to it later, but for now, I want to tuck something in there. These photos I have are very small. They're like little, almost like a postage stamp. They're really small, so they're going to fit in this album really nicely. Maybe I'll just put that over there. Yeah, maybe I'll just put it on that side. Because we still have washi tape and a few other things that we can add into the album, but I don't want to put the washi tape until I decide where I want the photos to go. So we're just going to center that right there. And we already have that one half done. And then this will have a little bit of the door on that side. So there we go. There's that one. This one, I want to use these. Oh, maybe I'll do it like that. I think I'm going to cut this one off because we already have that one folded and we're going to have that one folded. So we need this one to come off of here. We don't want to put too many folded together because then you get this really bulky section of your paper. Oh, that's what we're going to do with this one. We're going to put background paper in there. It's perfect. Right here. Just needed a tad bit shorter. About right there. And that should fit right. Perfect. And we'll just add that on there. That'll be a great place for a sentiment of some sort. Here we go. Adding that.
Bess said she's definitely watching a replay. She has to make this.
It's so fun. I mean, we're having a good time and it doesn't take very long. It's super fun. I'm glad that you like it. I mean, and the measurements are super easy. You shouldn't have any problems with it at all. But if you do, you can always reach out to me and ask questions. I don't mind. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that, just on the bottom half. And then we just have one more page, and then we're going to start decorating and doing fancy stuff. And we're going to use the ephemera, so we're going to have all kinds of cool stuff going on in this. I mean, it's cute already, and it doesn't even have the cool stuff on it yet. I want to make sure that I can fold this. Remember, we're supposed to make sure every time that we can fold that so it's not too far over. That is very, very important. Now, it's stuck down, it folds, it's good, we're good. Ta-da! That one is done. Now we have this side, this one. So we have these two insides, and then our back panel, which is, I definitely want it to be this one. I want our back panel to be this one, and I kind of want it to be the whole, like the center part of that. So we're gonna have to play around a little bit with the cutting. So I'll start here. And then we know it's a little less than 3.5. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. And then we'll take a little bit off of this side. Probably about right there. And then it needs to be 1/8 of an inch smaller than 5. And I'll take a teeny sliver extra just for good measure. And now we have this. I would like to put the end at the end, because you know comic books always say the end, don't they? Do they say the end, honey? Not always. Well, we went ahead and made this one, even though, oh, and look at how pretty that looks. That would have been a great one too. Here we go.
Make you a little sentiment that says Excelsior, because that's what Stan Lee would always say.
Oh, really? At the end?
And put it in his comics.
That's what he would put at the end?
Not the end, somewhere.
Somewhere? Extra glue. We're going to flip that over. Get a good hold here. All right, back panel done. Checked off. Now we just have these two pages. This one, the red side, and the blue side. These two that'll go together. And then we're done. And then we get to put all the fancy schmancy stuff in there. I like this. I think I like it on the side. Let's put this one over here. On the page panel. So slightly less than 3.5. Same measurements over and over again. My little spring got stuck. This glue lasts forever. Looks like I'm putting a lot, but I'm really not. It's really thin. I probably don't need that much. I just like to put that much. I don't know. Makes me feel better, I guess. But it doesn't take a whole lot. Let's flip that over. Rub that on there. Like that. And I think we're going to cut one more. I think I really like this, and I want to put this inside this one. I think these bottom ones are better than that one at the top. Plus, I can use that word on the other side. So I'm going to leave a little bit of the white around there. And let's see how well this measures. 3.5, slightly lower than 3.5. Yeah, no, we're gonna lose that white part. So let's trim this one, and then we'll come and trim this one right here. So they're about even on how much is on the picture. And we're looking for that 5. Again, eyeballing it. Just trying to make sure there's approximately the same amount. That one is a little bit less on this side, so just gonna trim it a little bit like this so I can kind of keep them sort of even. That's just a me thing, especially when I'm eyeballing. Let's see, this one works perfectly. Does this one fold over nicely? Yes, it does. So this is great. Going to sleep? Heading to bed? Okay. Well, you can see the end on the replay if you want to see what it all comes out. I'll probably make a video of it eventually. Of the final product when we get done. Thank you for joining. That works. That works. Okay, we're good. And this paper is, since it's like 80 pound, it like really makes these feel pretty thick, so you don't have to worry about them being flimsy or anything like that. I think I'm good with that. I don't want to put anything on the inside. I think I'm just happy with that the way it is. And we'll use this box as well. So I'm going to cut this paper. I don't know, do I want the purple? I think I need the purple showing. So again, 3.5, 1/8 of an inch smaller gives me this. And then I'll hand cut this window out. Again, I like to, when I'm cutting a straight line, I like to use a big pair of scissors so I can make it in one, so I don't have to keep doing that. I just feel like I get a better cut that way. I'm going to trim this side off so they kind of match this side and the other side. And they're not straight lines anyway, so it doesn't really technically matter how well you cut it or how well you don't. Just as long as you cut it. But I want to use that. I want to put a sentiment there. So I might leave that one unglued for right now until I see what photos are going to fit on that page. And believe me, I go through the photos about as fast as I just went through this book. It doesn't take me long to figure out where I want to put each one. I kind of already sorted them over there. I don't know if I have too many for the book or not enough, so we'll see. I'm just going to leave that one with that page because I definitely want to use that one on that page. There's the extra pieces. And then this one will fold over. And this will tie together. And this will be how wide your book is. So it's pretty good sized book. We did it in a little over an hour. And now we're going to put some fancy guys in it. So I have my entire ephemera pack for us to play around with. Well, not the entire one. I used some of it the other day, but some of it is here. And then I have my photos. So that is the big, so these are Spider-Man, this is Batman, there's the battle, there's the strong, there's the Thor, Lady Thor. There's random, Lady Thor, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man, Batman, Batman, that's all three of them. That's Dale, because he's my superhero. That, because that's my favorite. Other one, That's our other cosplay. That's his winning costume. It'll be at the end. Okay, so pretty easy. So starting off on the front, I'm going to put one of these guys on here. So let me just spread them out so I can see what I'm doing. It looks like I have 2 ninjas and 2 dogs. And yep, I only used one of the girls. So I think I'm gonna put this guy on the front. He's kind of like a little bit like Superman. I mean, I colored him in Superman colors because Superman is my favorite superhero. Who's your favorite superhero? What's your favorite You're loving this? Yay! Look how much stuff I have all over my desk. Somebody pops in, they're going to be like, wow, what a mess she has going on there. I want a sentiment here, and I had 2 sets of sentiments over here. So I'm just going to see if I can find one. I pulled these Tim Holtz sentiments. Ooh, I wonder if I have some of them already printed out in here. I usually keep them, oh, magical. That's kind of cool. Those are not the right color right there. But I could always use hugs, smile. These are from, I could say magical smile. Or just smile. Smile's cute. These are from the stencil that we have. The sentiment stencil. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of sentiments in there. Hold, please. These are from the sentiment stencil that just came out this month. If you like them, I like to make them and then just have them in here. So when I need them, I can use them. All right. You're my hero. Oh, I like that I already have these. It's nice when you already have them written. It's your day to shine. There we go. All right, now I have lots of sentiments. I think I'm going to say, smile, you're my hero. I think that is perfect. Thor is my D&D. Really? Look, you're such a gamer. I love it. My husband loves to play games too. I think I'm going to pick this up, move it over. So when I'm pressing this down, I'm only pressing it on one layer instead of all the layers. Not layer, like where you go when you're a superhero, but layer, layer. Grab my tweezers so I can put You're My Superhero on here. And I can put bling all over the front if I want, because it's not going to close the pages or anything, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to leave it a little bit more on the masculine side for now. No bling. Bling will come later. All right, so that's page 1. I feel like when I open it up, this is going to be page 2, and I need to have some photos in here of this. Got some explosions going on here. So we know, we already decided where we want the battle to be. So maybe we'll put some Spider-Man in here. That will be cool. So, I mean, it is the right color for Spider-Man, isn't it? Look at Spider-Man. He's fighting R2-D2. I like this one. I think we should put that one. It says Dallas Fan Expo. And I can use a paper to border that if I have one over here handy. Oh, darn. The one I have is red. But that's okay, because we saved out a couple of them that I said I wasn't crazy about the color. So it kind of matches the Spider-Man. so I can use that to map my photo. So we'll just do this. Oh, Cooper is gonna love this when he sees it. I'm gonna set it up at the corner with the amount of border that I want around, so I only have to cut 2 sides. Kind of get that already going. There we go. Let's flip it over. And I really am gonna just cut this. I'm not even gonna get my trimmer out. I'm really gonna cut this, hand cut this. Might leave a little bit of space at the bottom for like a sentiment. And then it should fit right. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. All right, gonna glue that down.
She's Wonder Woman twice for Halloween.
Oh, really? That's awesome. I think I was a Batgirl once with you, honey?
Yep.
I was Batgirl once. There we go. All right, I'm going to flip that over. All right, so there's our first Spider-Man. We have lots of Spider-Man here. Look at these little Spider-Mans. Aren't they cute? I think he needs to be on this side and this side. How cute is that? All right, maybe I'll hold that one out for later. I think I want... This is when I made his Spider-Man car for school. You know how you have to make a little car? We did a Batman once. It was so cute. Let's do... We need a sentiment on here. Like one of these. Zap. These sentiments right here are inside the ephemera pack, so you can use them from in there, which is really cool. I love that. And then I don't think it needs to be, oh, I do like this one. Look, because he's shooting out the webs. What sentiments? There we go. All right, we're going to glue down now. Not taking too much time to think about it. It will be cute no matter what we put on there. So I think I'm going to turn this one a little bit crooked because that makes it fun. And then I'm going to take this one that says, "It's your day to shine." Because doesn't he look like he's just shining there with Spider-Man? He was so happy that day when he saw Spider-Man. And then I have some Spider-Man stamps from the Sassy Club, so I'll probably put the little spider down here later on because I think that would be really super cute. And then we'll just stick these on there. I told you we're going to get through this super fast. But I didn't want to come on with everything already cut, because then you guys wouldn't be learning anything. I wanted you to learn how to make your own. So I needed to do all the measurements while we were live. So the live is a little longer than normal, but I think it's okay. I hope you don't mind. And then I'm going to put this little POW on there if I can pick it up. My son had a Spider-Man lunchbox for first day of school. Aww. See, my grandson, he was a big Spider-Man fan. And Batman first. And then Spider-Man. And then Darth Vader. So he kind of moves around all the different, all the different things. What else do we have? Any more sentiments? Okay, we can always add more later. So now we have 2 pages here. This is going to be so cool when it gets done. I'm so excited. Let's put these on there. And this glue is also whatever they call that, whatever that word is that they say that it's safe with photographs.
Acetate.
Is it acetate or is there another word for that? I can't remember what word I used to use for creative memories. But I did ask, and it is safe with photographs, so you don't have to worry about that. You can scrapbook with this glue. And we carry it in the shop now, so you can pick it up there as well. I think I'm going to stick this one right in the center. So maybe I had it laying a little differently, but you know, we can make it up as we go along, whatever we want to do. I kind of like it right here. There we go. All right, now we're going to flip over. This is in the room. And the next page after that, it's going to be this side. I like to do them 2 at a time to make sure that I have, you know, the right stuff. I want this ninja guy right there. I really like that ninja guy. I might have to put magical on this one. This is not the fighting one, but I think we could put, like, oh my goodness, isn't that funny? Somebody had Deadpool mask on. Maybe we need one in the house. Do we have one in the house? Hold on. Hold, please. I don't think so. I think they're all out and about. Yep. Okay. So we're going to put these ready to go. Ready to go fight the villains. And it's magical. To me. Acid free. Yep. That's it. It is, so you can use it with pictures. Oh, I just got lightheaded for a second. Not really sure what that was about. So that is Dale and my daughter Haley as Lady Thor, and my grandson Cooper as Spider-Man. This one over here, maybe like that. And then we'll put this magical on there because it's so cute. And I can write in this too when I'm done, you know, like, not that I have to write who it is because I know, but sometimes it's nice to put it in there anyway because you never know who might find this album in the future, way later in the future. I want this ninja on here for sure. I love this little ninja. I've been wanting to draw ninjas for a long time. I really like ninjas. Look at how cool he looks. He's super cool. I think we'll hide Deadpool over here. And we had all of them on the other side. So since I'm in this photograph, I think it would be great to do one of Dale and I. I don't have this. I think we didn't we do Predator before we did Sisters of Battle, honey? Yeah. Okay, so this is one of our first cosplays. Yes, that is me in the Predator and Dale in the other one. We were predators. Well, that doesn't sound good, but you know what I mean. We were from the movie Predator. Because I really like those movies a lot. And we even stopped in Arizona on our way home from seeing my son, and I got all suited up so we could have the rocks in the background and make the picture look good. The things we do, what can I say? What can I say? There we go. And then I'm going to put this, I think I'm going to put this, maybe not. That one's too big. Yeah, maybe I'll wait on sentiment for that. I'll probably find something that'll be perfect for that. But there we are. Flipping that over. All right, in the gym, in the gym. All right, so we're going to put somebody in the gym. And what's the other side of that? This one. We should put my daughter in the gym. She loves to go to the gym. Not that one. So they go like this. And then she's ready. And then, boom. That's where we need the boom. The boom shakalaka. Let me see if I can pick that up with my tweezers. That's what we need. We need the boom right there. And we could actually make this smaller so that I can see the background a little bit more. I love pictures like this. Do you love photographs like this where they're not really paying attention? And they look so deep in thought. Superheroes do that for sure. And then I'm going to cut this one down just a little bit more too. Just to give us a little bit more of the cool background that we put on this one. There we go. Trying to convince my husband to be Bob Ross and me as a happy little tree. I love that. That's a great idea. I love that. To be a happy little tree. I remember watching that. I didn't watch it a lot, but I remember watching it. I remember he said, happy little trees everywhere. I love these pictures. I think they look so good. I know Hugs doesn't really go with my theme, but I'm going to put it on there just because I like it and it matches with the color. Cheryl, you got to go to bed. Oh, no. Oh, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry. It's okay, though. Don't worry. This is just the decorative part anyway. It's not the best part was the measurements. That's the part you guys need. This is just the watching me fancy it up a little bit. I gotta trim these just a tad so they fit a little bit better. I think I can trim this one too. I know, I hope you sleep well too. I will text you tomorrow and not tonight. There we go. That's perfect. Now I can see the background paper. You know, I saved that little background piece of paper for a specific spot. I don't want to cover it all up. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay. Hey, we're halfway there. Let's see, I think we need this one to be over further so that, and up maybe, so this fits without, yeah, without messing up the whole scene. Here we go. I appreciate those. I bet my mom fell asleep too. She's actually in Pennsylvania where it's later there than it is here. It's only 9:55 here. I'm gonna try to finish this up real super quick. This could be the Batman one. Because it's yellow and it's cute. I know we're mixing and matching all kinds of superheroes, but that's what makes it fun. We even have villains on ours. So this one, he'll fit right, look, he's peeking. See him peeking out? That's funny. I like it. And I think I'm going to, if I can find mine, I colored him to look like Robin, so that works really good with Batman and Robin. So this little guy is going to go on here, or maybe I should put him here. Yeah, I'll put him there. I kind of colored him up like he would be if he was Robin in his green and yellow and this word might look good right there. Oh, did I mess him up? I slid him. Don't be doing that. That's why I usually flip it over to press it down, because I don't want to do that. I kind of like that. I kind of think I need a different sentiment. So I'm going to wait on that one as well, because I'm almost out of sentiments. I got to go back. I got to put a ninja star on here. I can't do this without a ninja star. Come on now. There we go. And we need one, we need the other kind of ninja star on here. Cool. Let's put one more. We might as well. We're already here. All right, moving on. I feel glue and sticky. I need it. It rubs right off, so when you get it on your hands and you rub it off like that, then you just kind of make a mess. I decided to trim this down a little bit. There we go. And it stays in there, so I'm happy about that. Next, this one. That's the other half of that one. The whole city. I kind of like that there. And then we could put, let's put one of these girls. Oh, maybe I need to save that. Let's put her on this side with that one. We don't need a photo. We just need awesomeness. Oh, wait, I already did Batman, right? So here's the other Batman. That's his Batman card that we made. So one year we made Superman and the next year we made Batman. She's on fire. We're going to put her here. I still have people watching. I'm glad I still have some of you. Here we go. This is so cool. I'm really excited. I know you guys are probably tired, but I just get my second wind about this time. I'm raring to go. I might as well get this Batman on here since Batman's on the other side. That kind of all rolls together in one. So that's perfect. Now this one and this one. We already have the city here. So we need a fly-in. We need somebody like, don't we? Oh, I used the other one already. So we have to use her going in this direction because I used the one that went that way already. And now, excuse me, I need a drink of water because I'm dying over here. Which one was I gonna do the fighting on? Wasn't this it? This is the one I wanted the whole battle scene on. So here we go. Oops. Nope. I have to trim it just a tad. Because it doesn't fit with the other one on the page, so we'll trim this one a little bit too. And then I think they'll fit much better and they'll look really good. I am okay with this one looking like it does because I think I might use this one too. Oh, perfect. Hold on. Boom. There we go. Much better. I didn't want to cover them up, so I think they need to go this way though. And then we can put this word up here. Here we go. One down. One more. You never know. There might be some people who like stay up late that might be popping on now. Oh, look at that. There are people. I didn't see the comments right away. I'm enjoying seeing your photos. It's why I love scrapbooking. Of course, joined late. Love the paper you're using. Me too. I haven't done any scrapbooking in a while, but I thought this would be fun. Hey, Angela, thank you for popping in. Well, I'm almost done. We only have a few more pages. I already had the pictures printed out, so we created a whole album and used the superhero, ephemera, and paper pad, and just building this whole album out of that and just regular measurements. So I'm going to put this sentiment on there. It says, I will tell you as soon as I put it down. It says, faster than a glue gun and twice as crafty. You're not going anywhere. Yay! So I know I have at least somebody to talk to. There we go. Miss Sassy Pants in that one for sure. I might have some ephemera left. I'm not sure. I am using it up. I still have photos though, so I'm not out of photos yet. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good. There's 2 pages right there. And when we put this together, it's gonna be so cute. Okay, flipping that over. Now on this one, we sealed all of those edges, but on this one, we left this open, remember? So we get to decide what we want to put on that one. And we'll go from there. We might run out of pictures. So maybe we'll make this a scene with our ephemera mostly. Come on, come on. Okay, this is really good because this is definitely a explosion. We made these flames so they fit like right around her hands. I think it's easiest to put the glue on the back of her hand because I want the flames to look like they're coming off of her hand. So the flames really go with her. That's kind of what I meant when I put them together, because she has flames at the bottom of her pants as well. But you don't have to color them as flames. You can color them as whatever you want. So I'll put the rest of this glue at the bottom of that one. And then they fit like right there. And then it looks like she's on fire. Let's see if I can pull that out just a little bit. I like to be able to see some of the yellow. I really like her. She's so unique. Worked really hard on her. The hands were the hardest part, honestly. I got so frustrated. Dale had to talk me off the ledge. You love the stencil for this set? Yeah, me too. Oh no. Gotta call Dad and go to bed. Good night, Mom. I know it's super late where you are. I get it. All right, so putting this one on there. I might add this little picture because it's just so cute. This is when Cooper was really little. This was his little Batman. His first Batman mask. I think he's wearing a different superhero on his shirt though. Let's put him right there. He'll fit perfectly right there. Right there, right there. And his little Batman face, so cute. Hi, B. How are you doing? We just built a whole album and now we're just finishing it up, decorating it up real quick. I think if we put the little dog on this tab right here, he'll be hiding in here. Will he hide all the way? No. You'll see his ear. Maybe I'll just leave that alone and I'll add something to that pocket later. I don't know what I want to put in that pocket. I think I'll put the little doggy over here though. And then I think we'll do, even though it's R2-D2, we'll put Spider-Man and R2-D2 over here. You love the superhero sets? I'm so glad. So glad. I was really, really excited to bring them out. I've been holding it in, sharing that I was so excited about them. So I am glad to hear that you like them because I really was happy how they turned out. And I was hoping people would like them, even though they aren't the traditional superheroes that everybody loves. I was hoping they would love these new superheroes. I mean, they're all so unique. I still swear though, this guy looks like he should be on a motorcycle. I may need to draw a motorcycle. I think he's gonna need it. All right, I'm gonna put some flames over here because it'll just match up with what's on that side. And I don't want to waste the flames because they're cute. So we're just gonna put some flames on this little side over here. The villains too, me too. Oh, yes. I really love this cheetah girl. Like this cheetah villain. I mean, it's kind of hard to come up with villain ideas when there's already so many superheroes and villains out there already, and you have to come up with your own. It's a challenge and a half for sure. I still have some ninja thingies to go with my little ninja dude. We still have a city, we still have him, and we still have her. And we still have some photos. So this works out for this set right here. So if I flip that over, let's see. Oh, we're almost done. We're doing good. Okay. So flip that over. Now we have them inside, like having conversations. So let's do, this is Thor and Captain America. And this is Lady Thor and Thor. We do not want to put love on that page because they don't know each other. What else? Oh, I know. I still have these. I still have these. I have one more of, I have this one of Dale, which I think looks pretty cool right there. So we'll put that one there. These guys are having a meeting over here. I'll have to stamp some of these sentiments and add it to it later, because I feel like I need some more sentiments in here. And I definitely will. But I probably need a little. Go Lady Thor. That's right. So Dale made that costume for Haley. She wanted to be Lady Thor. So she was like, Dad, because you know, he is the top cosplay guy. There we go. And I think this will be a good memory of his costumes, and the ones at the end will be the one that he won the whole thing with. The Masters of Cosplay Grand Champion. I will definitely have to put that in here somewhere. So that's pretty cool. That was one of the funnest, most exciting trips we've been on a long time. There we go. Now we have, oh, maybe we'll find something to put on this one. I need a sentiment, something that says, you know, we're the superhero, calling all superheroes or something like that. I don't know. And then this side we have, so this is all we have left. That's it. This is the last page. And I think this one went like, I can't remember. Hold on. Hold, please. Oh, this one went like this. So it matches with that one. Okay, so it's like this. All right, just making sure. And did I leave the pockets open? No. Can't remember if I left pockets open or not. But this is a great place to put one of these guys. Right here. Or maybe one of these guys. Ooh, that even goes with the colors. Let's do that. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can get that city over here. No. I might have to save that city for a card, because I really like it on a card. There we go. So there's that one. Then we'll flip that open. Then we have a few more of those. So this is the winner. So we'll have to put winner. Did I print the same one twice? I sure did. Okay, can't use that one. So maybe we'll put this one over here. Yeah, we'll put this one inside. Oh, I could put love on this one because it's my hubby. I need that costume for trunk or treat, right? Right? And the only one he's ever sold is that Predator one you saw earlier. He sold that to a friend who really wanted it super bad and was about the same size as him, so it worked really well. The outfit still fit him. It fit the other guy, so, but he makes them to fit himself, so sometimes it doesn't work for someone else, you know? Perfect. It's my champion right there. And I'm almost out of photos. I think, let's see, what's on the other side of this one? Oh, this is the one for my city. And we'll put her on there too, because it works good with the purple. So we'll put her on the back of that one. We'll use this one. Yep, those are the only photos I have left right there. So this is going to be perfect. I wonder if I should put the ninja here. Yeah, this will be good. There we go. And then I can put his little ninja things all over the place. If you lift his hand, like if you cut into his hand, you can put the ninja things right in his hand. I did that on a card. Yeah, we only need 3. Let's put ninja guy down. I used almost all of the ephemera.
She says she's not sure. I can't show you it live. Probably have to wait till it's finished.
You might have to wait till it's finished, but it should be shareable. I didn't make anything not shareable, and I know there are a few people who have been sharing videos and stuff that I've been doing, but so you should be able to, maybe not while it's still live, maybe after it's not live anymore. But we are almost done. All we have to do is bind it, which is super fast. Hopefully. There we go. Then we just need to put his little ninja things on here. Man, I thought I was going to have too many photos, and I do not. I am doing good with the photos. I was worried I would have too many. But I think it's perfect. This one here. All right, so that page is done. This page is done. Now we're going to put this one on here. Put the whole city. I really like this little city. This city comes in the ephemera pack, but it's not a stamp. It's just in the ephemera. but it fits perfectly at the bottom of an A2 card. It's just perfect. And I want this girl on here. So really, I used one pack of the 6x6 paper and one ephemera pack to do these pages, and then photos that I printed from home.
Too bad you didn't have another paddle.
I know. I mean, I'll have to get some, but I don't have another one handy right now. I think I used them all. Just double checking, but I think I used them all. Okay, and then this one's done. I have one more guy and a few more photos. So this goes over here, and then this one, and this is where I'm going to put my last set of photos, which are this. We won first place on this contest. And maybe I'll put another picture of Dale. I printed two. I didn't mean to print two of the same one, but I think I'm okay with putting that one in there.
Let's read the picture of us as the promises to the battle.
Yeah, I didn't print that one, but I'll just put this one in here because I don't mind two of them being in there. I mean, you are the winner, the winner, the winner. You are able to now. You had to leave the live to go to the group to share from there. Oh, okay. I waited to pay for my card this morning. So cute. So glad I waited to pay for my card this morning. Yeah. Because now you might have to have more, right? I understand completely. All right, here we go. Wow, this is gonna be perfect. I think I'll put this little ninja star up here just because I feel like it. Maybe I'll put it in the corner. And then I'll flip that over. I don't have anything on this side. Oops, there's a little bit of glue on there. I don't want them to stick together. Slippery little suckers. I think over here, I could just put hugs. Because I still have this word, so I might as well use it, right? And I can always add another photo if I want to later, right there. If I want to. And then on the back, I was gonna put this guy. Right here. And then I was gonna put this thanks. Thanks for looking at my album. Thank you for hanging out with me while I made it. I'll probably end up at my daughter's house. So, okay, we have all our pages together. So now what I'm gonna try to do is feed that through. So I kept out my little circle thingy here. So these are the holes. Hey B, I bet you've seen this before, the binding pieces from Scrappy Boy. It's a die set from Scrappy Boy. See how they all line up like that perfectly? I was thinking black would be the best just because the spine is black, and I think I'm going to cut these the same length, and I need 4 of them. So this whole project started off with that die. The whole idea stemmed from this die set right here, and all it is the album tabs. So this little tab. Once I had the tab, then I just made up the sizes from there based on what I you know, how big I wanted it or how many pages I wanted. And I tell you all the measurements throughout as I'm going, what size the papers are this way and that way, and how I put it all together. And now I'm just going to string these. Hopefully I won't look like I can't do it, you know, because that can happen sometimes. So I'm sticking this through just so I can get them all lined up the way that I want, and then I'm just going to try to feed this through, although it would, yeah, it would help if you held it. Oh, I thought he was going to hold it for me. Oh, I got it. Oh, almost. Come on, come on. I think I'm going to use my tweezers to pull it through so I don't shred it. Hopefully I won't shred it. There we go. So I'm going to make sure that I have all of them through before I tie them off. Make sure they're going in the direction I want. And it'll just be little strings hanging off the edge. There's many ways you can do it. That's just the way that I envision it. I mean, you could put loops in here if you wanted, you know, like those. Honey, could you just hold this right here so I can feed these through? It's a little hard to feed it through when you're holding it and keep it lined up. So if you could just put your hand right there, yeah, that would be great. Trying to. All right, hold on. See, I knew this was going to happen. I should have used twine, but I really wanted to use ribbon. You're not. You gotta hold it straight. Otherwise, the hole doesn't line up anymore, and then it doesn't work. Dang it.
Take your flat tweezers.
All right, let go. Let go. I got it. Where, I don't know where they are, honey. They could be anywhere on this desk of mine.
You can just use the
Here they are.
And grab the end and just push it through.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks. These are my flat tweezers, is what he was saying. If I use the flat ones, it'll be easy to pull it through. And he's right. It is easier. So there's number 2. This one should be a lot easier. So I'm just taking that and pushing it through like this till I can see it, and then pull it out. Sometimes it takes a bit to figure it out, but you know, we'll figure it out. We'll do it together. Push that through, and then we can pull it. And now all I'm gonna do is tie a knot for each one. And this way it's gonna hold it like in its form since I put them all in there, and then I'm gonna tie them. And it really is just gonna be like a knot, you know? I'm going to tie it here, and then I'm going to tie it one more time. If I can see it. Yep, right there. And it's going to give me just a little knot on the edge. Like that. And out. And don't pull it too tight because you don't want your album to stick open. You know, you want it to lay flat. So don't pull it too tight. But if you decide it's too tight, you can always cut it off and start again. Sort of up to you how you want to handle that. And they make those little rings, those little metal rings that open and close, and you could always use those as well. And that way you could put even more because it's, you know, the ring is open wider. Come on. Go in there. There it is. I mean, it's also easier to do if you don't have fake fingernails on. But when you have nails on, it's a little bit harder. Here we go. We're almost there. And you could dangle something off these if you made them a little bit longer so that, you know, they have a little bit of a design, a little bit of a bling. And they just kind of hang off there, and I'm kind of okay with that. I'm just going to clip them a little bit on the edges because I frayed some of them when I was pushing them through. So I'm going to cut them diagonal because I just like it that way. That's just a me thing. You can cut them however you want. But I'm just going to cut them diagonally. Get rid of all of the fraying that I caused pushing them through. And they don't have to be real long because they're in a knot right now, so they'll fit perfectly. See? Super cute. So now we have this little book. It lays flat. It's really cute. And then because we scored that, it just opens right up all the way. And then the next page, and they even open up a little bit further if you need them to. Or you could glue those together if you want them to stay together. It's up to you. And then this one, and there's our little pocket that we made. And then there's her, and there's that one, and then there's a pocket here. And then on this side, you open it up here. Then there's this one, then the back one. And they just, if you want to glue them together, you can. But if you glue them, it's going to sit like this. Which is fine if you want to sit it up like this. But that's just your choice. I didn't want that. I want them to be loose, but I want them to be together, if that makes sense. So anyway, there it is in all its glory. It took some of the sting out of losing cards tonight. Oh, thanks, B. I love it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. This little ninja makes me so happy. They just make me happy. I mean, who doesn't like superheroes and supervillains? That's just half the fun of everything. So we used the whole Supers Ephemera pack, which comes in the bundle. But we did not use a whole paper pad. I had made all my cards. Are the papers? Yes, they are. See? Yes, they are from the shop. And I didn't even use the whole thing. And I made all 10 of my cards with this paper and the book. So this paper is really good, lasts a long time. And then I'll probably go through and stamp some of the sentiments from these sets in there so that it all winds up.
Stamp sets.
Yes, so these are the stamps. This is the paper pad. The ephemera we just used throughout this whole book. And then there's 2 stencils in the bundle. So that's the bundle. 2 stamps, the paper pad, the ephemera. And then Dale's pulling the stencils real quick so you can see. No, that's the ephemera. The stencils is what we were looking at. I don't think I have them pulled out, but there's 2 stencils and they're pretty cool. Do you have them? Yep, there they are. No, this is the one that I used for the words. It's not in the bundle, but magical, friend, smile, hugs. This is the one that I used for the words. Here is this is the one that makes the skyline. So that's pretty cool. That's in the bundle. And then the other one that's in the bundle, I don't have it in a package right now, but it's the one that makes this design. And it looks like this. It's double layer. You can get fireworks, or you can get so the stars line up at the top, see? So you'll get this, and then you add the stars with the second layer at the top, like that. And then you get lightning bolts and all kinds of other little thingies on there. So this stencil, the skyline stencil, the stamps, the ephemera, and the paper pad all come in a bundle. And right now it is currently on sale for $50. So not too bad. Get quite a bit of stuff. And, but yeah, so we didn't even use too much of this stuff to make that. So it is really neat. And if you like that, you might want to check out the paper pad from last month. It's pretty cool too. It is Interstellar is what it's called. So you can check that one out as well. It's up to you. But thank you so much for watching. This will be uploaded on YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We're trying to build the channel. We greatly appreciate it. I hope that you will share if you try this technique. I hope that you will share what you did on our page. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Thanks. Love you guys. See you on Thursday. Don't forget, it's Ninja Color on Thursday. We're going to do this one. So if you have one, stamp it out so you can color with me. Good night.